All right. Ryan, I won't screw up. So we're probably literally going to have an audience of one for this. For whatever reason, StreamYard was not connecting to Facebook, and I just don't have enough time today to troubleshoot it. So real quick, kayak catfish and tournaments.store. Go in there. Any of the merch purchase help support me out. If there's anything on here you don't see that you want, let me know. I guarantee you I can get it set up. SandyDrifters.com, the top two placers in our open month longs. He supplies a free pack of Sandy Drifters. I won a pack last month, and check this out. I also ordered some. Use code Kayak15 for 15% off. Got myself some 4 ounces. And since we have rain incoming, I got myself some more 6 ounces. Some massive drifters. Love these things. They're extremely helpful when you drag the Ohio River. All right, moving on over to the Scioto River. The main reason for this is the Scioto River results for the 24-hour event that took place this past weekend. There were 10 anglers. Here's your 10 anglers. All right, back to the tournament home. And here are the results. Dwayne Frazier won. Eric Grubb came in second. Eric Jacobs came in third. I came down here in fifth. Shane Sparks came in fourth. Chris Minahan came in sixth. And Tyler Lowe came in seventh. That is the full leaderboard. It looks like 3 other anglers did not catch a fish. Tough bite. I caught 3 total. 2 were submitted to the leaderboard. 1 was before the tournament started. I will go over a few questions / concerns. Somebody asked if I'm allowed to fish my own events. Just so everyone knows, 99% of administrators do fish their own events. It's not uncommon. But I also went out of my way to go live fishing, to announce where I was fishing ahead of time, and to fish in arguably a weaker section of the Scioto. Also, a section where I was targeting channel cats and a very publicly accessible spot. That way, no one could really accuse me of court sniping. Next tournament I fished though with these guys will probably be October-ish, if there's an October tournament, and I will probably hook up with one of the Grubbs, Jacobs, Chris Minahan, and go try and target some flatties with them. Moving on to the payouts for that, let's go here. Scrolling down, so I made a little mistake this morning. There's 10 anglers, so if you go back into July, you see how there was that $120 donation. Well, when I copy and paste it over the payouts, I accidentally kept the donation in there, so I ended up paying out the anglers more initially. So they know that, but I told them just to keep the money. That's just some free entry money you have for the future. Here are the payouts. $187.50 was what went into the pot. $100 for big fish. And then everything over here, if you want to pause the video, I've already gone over this in the side of the page. $110.25 for first, $47.25 for second, $30 for third, and $100 for big fish. We paid out 70%, 30% money back first, second, third because there was 9 to 14 anglers. All right, we got that done. Also, real quick, we're going to go into the little learning here. I believe I had to ding Dwayne on one of his fish. So check this out, guys. If you're not going to lock your board out, try and make sure it's flat and or at more of a 180-degree angle, bent away. So if you zoom in on this fish, this board's clearly bent up slightly. So I think he initially submitted this fish at 35.5, so I dinged it down to 35. And I'm not picking on him. This is just a learning experience for everybody. And it didn't affect the outcome of the tournament, so it really wasn't that big of a deal. But it's a great learning experience for anyone else because bank fishing, a lot of guys who bank fish have the luxury of not having to lock it out. But I do want people to know if I can visually tell there's an upward bend of the board, I do have to dock inches. And I have to dock probably a 1/4 inch more than what you actually got the advantage of, which is why I chose a 1/2 inch instead of a 1/4 inch. And also, somebody asked me if this was a team event. It's not a team event, so I don't think anyone fished as a team in this. But somebody did ask me, like going forward, like, "Hey, can like 4 of us fish at the same time and submit to the same score?" That's not how these work. You all 4 of you can compete. You just, if you're all fishing together, identify your own 2 poles. You got to hook your own pole, you got to cast your own pole, you got to land your own fish. That's part of the honor system. But to answer your question, no, these are not team events. We may do team events in the future, but these ones currently are not team events. How do you lock out the board? Very good. So locking out the board, it's go purchase half-inch channel from Lowe's, Amazon. That's what 99% of us do. We just use half-inch channeling, aluminum channeling. A lot of guys pop theirs on and off so they can transport their board, fold it in half. Mine's permanently stuck on because there's so much shad guts stuck in there that it kind of cemented itself to the board with the shad guts. So half-inch channeling is what almost everyone uses to lock those boards out. All right. Let me go back over to the agenda. We covered the boards. We covered, somebody asked if it's a team event. So it's not a team event, it's your individual stuff. All right. Now over to the month-long standings for the national tournaments. I have not looked at these in a long time. I'm trying to intentionally not look at the standings between these. We'll do slot first between these lives. So just so you can get my genuine reaction. All right, let's see here. JJ looks to be in first. He has 2 perfect fish with 3. Ooh, that's a great score. Oh, look at Clint, man. Clint's 1 trip away from catching JJ. This is an awesome battle for first. So we will have 3 payout positions in this because actually, no, give me 1 second. I think we only have payout structure. Well, there are only 2 payout positions in this. Okay, I apologize. So JJ and Clint right now are battling for first and second for the top 2 payouts. And then you got Stephen Folds, has life fishing, by the way. He's battling for third right now with 152. Stephen Murray's in fourth with 148.5. I am in third with 138. And Clinton Payne is in sixth with 133. Realistically, second through sixth, 1 good fishing trip on like a channel cat lake or on a weaker blue water. I mean, any of us could hop into second place. Like, that's really close. And then you got Wayne down here at 55 and Justin Schuerman at 28.25. So those are the standings for the slot. Let's go to show details. There we go. Kayak catfishing tournaments. Over to the open month long. Open month long, we have 6 anglers, so it's going to be the top 2 are going to be paid out. The 6 anglers are Wayne, Steven, Justin, Steven, Clint, Dan. And down here, so all 6 are catching fish. Very good. Dan's in first, 318.25. That's an awesome bag. Let's look at this. He also increased his lead in the year-long big fish, which we will get it to at the end. And then JJ sitting in second at 298.5. This is also an amazing bag. There are a handful of fish, if anybody watches JJ's lives, there are a handful of fish that are not submitted at this point that I believe were bigger than his smallest fish, but it looks like it wouldn't make a difference in the standings. I think it would only really make a difference in the standings currently if Stephen Foltz or Clint or obviously anyone below JJ goes out there and puts an awesome day on the board. Stephen Murray with an awesome bag, 219.75. Wayne, 133.25. I'd be willing to bet he's either targeting flats or he just hasn't fished much. Wayne's an awesome fisherman too. So is Steve. Like, these are awesome fish. If 210 inches, honestly, 210 inches for a month is a good bag. It's a really good bag. That means you average 30 inches in 7 fish in 1 month. A 30-inch fish is anywhere between 7 and 12 pounds, realistically, depending on the time of the year. So 210 inches, you had a super solid month, honestly, no matter where you're at in the country, in 7 biggest fish. We got Clint Seeger, 247, and then Has Life again here in 272.5. All right, what's next on the agenda? I should probably move this over. September tournaments. All right, September tournaments. Show description. All right, kayak catfishing. The first tournament we will go over is the new month-long format. The new month-long going forward, starting in September, is 4 over 30 and 3 under 30 inches. That's this tournament right here. Looks like we got 3 anglers already signed up. And real quick note, me as a tournament administrator, I get to choose 1 tournament a month to sign up for free. I'm probably going to do that in the month-long this month because I may not be able to fish the short tournaments, which is unfortunate because I'm extremely excited for the short tournaments. The bank fishing series that we just started, I opened it up anyone can start submitting fish. And the reason you see 4 entries with no leaderboard is they're all from me. I still submitted the fish. I just made sure they didn't hit this leaderboard because I was fishing in a kayak. So that's why you see up here 4 entries and nothing on the leaderboards. Everyone who's in this tournament, all 27 anglers, you're free to start submitting fish. You've been free for the last few days, but yes, you are free to start submitting fish now. I have not forgot about the regional that's on the agenda, Ryan. Or wait, hold on. I did forget about the regional. I lied. The current standings I did forget. Here's the current standings for the regional. Sorry about that. Ryan's currently in first. It's your 2 over 25 and your 3 under 25 for next month. So Ryan's in first and McKinsley in second. I'm in third. Brandon Hunter's in fourth. Tyler's in fifth. Eric Jacobs in sixth. And then for September, we're doing a big 3. The identifier is not ready yet, obviously. And I forgot to do PayPal your entry to Kayaking Cats at yahoo.com. All right, so we have the regional for this month and next month already gone over. Back to the tournament home here for the bank. You guys can start submitting entries whenever you want. The bank tournament will be show details. The bank tournament will be. This is one thing I have asked Fishing Chaos to fix. You can't right-click open anything, so that's why I am struggling to constantly get to a new tournament. If I could just right-click open a new tab, I can have everything prepared. But that's the only thing I don't like about Fishing Chaos is I cannot right-click open a new tab. So it's actually extremely frustrating from an administrator standpoint to constantly have to start from the very beginning to get to the tournament that you want to go to. Whereas if I could just right-click open a new tab, I could literally be at every tournament in 2 seconds instead of having to start the entire process over from the beginning. So back to the bank fishing series. I apologize. Next month will be paid. The paid entry fee next month is, come on, what did I just do? The paid entry fee next month is, I believe, $30, $5 to big fish for the bank event. And then our short events for next month. And I'm extremely excited for this. You have an 8-hour tournament on 9/11. Then we have a 24-hour tournament on 9/25. The tournament starts on 9/11 at 6 a.m. and ends at 2 p.m. Every single month going forward, we have an 8-hour tournament and a 24-hour tournament, your 3 biggest fish over that time frame. This way, anyone who doesn't enjoy marathon fishing isn't forced to fish or be at a disadvantage if they only choose to fish 4 to 8 hours of the 24-hour event. They can compete against other guys. I think 8 hours is more than fair. 8 hours is typically the time frame of a standard tournament that you would show up to at an in-person. Yep, we have an in-person at Taylorsville this weekend, this Saturday, 8 p.m. to 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. $100 entry is at Taylorsville Lake. I am going to that. I am fishing with Chris Souders on Friday on the Scioto River. And then Saturday, I'm heading down to Taylorsville to fish that event at Taylorsville. That I cannot bring that up because that's on Facebook, and I can't risk a chat popping up on Facebook on live and me getting canceled. So, all right, moving on. Where is the agenda? Cowan Lake is next month as well. Cowan Lake in person is on 9/18. I'm going to try really hard to promote this a little stronger. Last month, a mixture of weather and no signups. We had to cancel the event. The weekend it was supposed to be, there was horrible weather coming in. A few people messaged me saying that they're not going to sign up because if they're going to travel, they don't want to risk not being able to fish because the travel and the in-person and, yada, yada, yada. I don't blame them. The very next weekend, the same exact thing happened. The weather was supposed to be terrible. It was over 50 to 60% chance of rain all day and like lightning storms. And then it ended up not raining. So go figure. But I'm going to start pushing this a little harder. September's loaded. You got the 9/11 8-hour event. You have the 9/18 in-person event for Cowan Lake. You have the 9/25 event for Scioto River. Next month is 9/25 to 9/26, and 9/25 is the 24-hour event. So, especially if you're a regional Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky guy, the Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky regional is your single biggest flathead channel and blue cat for next month. You got the Cohen Lake. Cohen Lake produces Sandusky Bay like monsters on a consistent basis. So, like next month is stacked. Also, September is one of the best months in the country to catfish, which is another reason why we have stacked so many tournaments up in September. And Cat Big 3 is at a river event. So it looks like we have gone over everything. The last thing I'm going to go over is where we stand on the biggest catfish of the year. This is a side $27 pot that anyone can get into. The only catch is there's no identifier for this. Everyone asks me, like, what's the identifier? There's no identifier for this because it's your single biggest fish caught in competition throughout the year. It's not your single biggest fish caught in the year. You have to be actively fishing in a month long, in a 24-hour, in an 8-hour Catfish King. You have to actively be fishing in a KCT event for your big fish to count towards this. This is a way to, this is a side pod to reward anglers who are currently contributing to the scene in other aspects. So that's what this is for. It looks like Dan increases lead at 49.75. It'd be awesome to see a 50-plus inch fish here before the end of the year. JJ's in second, 45.75. Pat Murray's in third, 45.25. Clint's in fourth, 37.25, and I am in fifth at 37 inches. I had to manually redo this because it was initially on Tourney X, so that's why not everyone's name is up here with all their fish. However, it doesn't change the standings. Those guys who haven't submitted a fish yet onto this board wouldn't be in first anyway, so it doesn't change. The winner takes the pot. So regional tournaments do count for that, right? Trying to think. Do they? I'm gonna have to go back and see what we agreed on that. I don't think they do. I think it's KCT only. I do not think regional tournaments count towards this particular pot. Yeah, I'm almost positive regionals don't count for this pot. I'm pretty sure this is, and let me see who's all entered too. Yeah, I don't believe any regional fish count for this pot. So I think that's going to answer that question. But hell, I mean, all of us regional guys who are in this anyway, we're all in a month long for KCT anyway. So, any questions for the whopping 2 people that are in here? Sorry if I seemed a little out of it. I had to kind of rush. I need to get back to work. I'm on my lunch break. And I drank so much coffee this morning. I am now crashing. So, kayak catfishing tournaments.store. Get yourself a mug. All right, no questions. We will get our outro here and we will call it a day. Best of luck. I'll be back in a couple days. Remember, we do our captain's meeting in the beginning of the month. Yeah, we do our captain's meeting in the beginning of the month, not the last day of the month, preparing for the next month to go over who's entered, what the payouts for that month are going to be, etc. If there's ever a big change before a new tournament starts, we will tell anglers well ahead of time. But I think a captain's meeting the night before for an online event is kind of meaningless. So it also kind of forces anglers to be somewhere they don't necessarily have to be to watch. If there's ever a big change, we'll tell you well before the tournament starts. All right. Enjoy the outro here and best of luck everyone in all the events that are coming up.